These extracts attest to some of the origins of today's computer graphic and digital imaging technologies and aesthetic. These extracts are artsy. That is, they were created at a time period where there was a birth going on of something called video art, without any conception of whether or not this work would be commercial or viable. These extracts also contain the presence of what I term ghosts. These ghosts are the predecessor forms in early cinema itself and go all the way back to the origins of cinema. So I would like to take you now on a tour of the various ghosts in the machine. The task for me in 1970 was to build a machine that could render the images, colors, rhythms, textures, overlays that I literally experienced in my dreams. I had never heard of an optical printer. I never attended film school. My education was, strangely enough, in physics. So after recording my dreams on audio tape, I was filled with an urgency to realize these dreams and dream images on film. I thought, I must build a machine. Upon receiving in film, the underground filmmaking began in the 60s as an opposition to commercial cinema. The lawyers, the bankers, the tradesmen of the medium, an opposition to dominant culture, dominant politics, an opposition, a very great opposition to the war effort. Part of the purpose of the avant-garde was to make a mark in a manner that we didn't feel at all compromised our own integrity. But we were embarking on kind of an anarchic freedom to basically express ourselves in whatever environment we wanted to. And this particular environment has got lots of indication of people doing the same. And what has been confounding to a lot of the commercial people is how can these guys get away with it? Well, we just couldn't. The ad agencies in New York got wind of the experimental and underground techniques, and they literally rented these films and screened them in their boardrooms. The net result was that the underground techniques were stripped bare of their content, and what we had left was a form which was then used to sell products to the same generation. After this, the music industry got wind of it, hired the advertising people using similar and other techniques to sell music products called music videos. And this industry proliferated and became its own giant to the point now where we have MTV awards and all kinds of innovations stripped from their original content, stripped of their history, and people like Jordan Belson, Scott Bartlett, Connors, a number of filmmakers were never rewarded for this kind of work, but this work was incorporated into the kind of sanitized version of our culture, like this background mural you got here, which is a sanitized version of graffiti. And this tactic continues today with all kinds of advertisings unabated, and it will continue in future forms in video as well.